Chelsea back in the Champions League, back at Stamford Bridge, and back with 3 points and a win at home. This is your Champions League Chelsea match reviews. Match review: Chelsea 1, Benfica 0. Let's go. Welcome back to the Finals of Podcast, people. I am Javon, and this is another match review. Before we get started, please remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get notified for when I upload a new video to the channel. Now, finally, during my season match reviews, I can make a positive match review. And we won back in the champions. The Champions League music was singing out nice and loud and clear at Stamford Bridge. And Chelsea, we picked up 3 points. Now, before we get started to see the lineups, I would like to say thank you for Jose Mourinho for giving us the 3 points, because it was a whole reunion and we didn't let that get the best of us. We actually played well. Now, let's take a look at Enzo Maresca's starting 11 for this game, which was a bit of a surprise. But let's take a look at it anyways. Now, here we have in goal Robert Sanchez, right back Malo Gusto starts, right centre back Trevor Chalobah starts, left centre back Badia Shield steps into the park as that left-sided centre back with a left foot, and a left back Marco Correa. In the middle of the pitch we have Enzo Fernandez, Moses Caicedo. Up top, surprise inclusion, surprise start, Buonanotte. On the right, Pedro Neto. On the left, Garnacho. And up top, we have Tyreek George. Now, when we look at the starting 11, it was noted that Joao Pedro had a knock and Andre Santos had a knock. So they were rested at the start of the game. Joao Pedro came in at the late of the game. And Andre Santos didn't even make the bench. And Estevao was on the bench as well. The surprise inclusion for me was Tyreek George up top. I don't know what Enzo Maresca sees in this brother, but what if he's seeing? He needs glasses because he ain't seeing well. This brother did nothing for the 90 minutes, in my opinion. He hardly had a sniff. Up top, you're killing him. Up top, he had very loose touches. Up top, he has very bad touches. And he was very ineffective. Mark Gue was on the bench, and I think Mark Gue should have started. I genuinely think Mark Gue would have done more with the minutes given to him. Maybe even not got a goal based on some of the opportunities he created and just couldn't finish. And I'm not a fan of Tyreek George as a striker. Up front, especially in this Chelsea system, I would have left him on the bench and put him on in his natural position, which I think he's a right winger or a left winger. I don't know, and I quite frankly don't care. I'm just happy we got the 3 points, boys. Now, moving into the actual game, we actually played well. We were on the front foot from the jump. The atmosphere was buzzing at the bridge. We going forward, we transitioned well. And let's talk about the performances of Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto had a very top class performance, and I remember him having a good performance against the same Benfica side in the Club World Cup. I just hope this can be a start where we can use his performances as a turn of performances, so we can possibly go on a run, maybe go into the Liverpool game a bit more positive, given that Liverpool lost today. But yeah, the first goal came from some nice work down on the right hand side and Pedro Neto's side. Pedro Neto putting a cross into the box. And lo and behold, guess who's at the back post on the left hand side? Alejandro Garnacho. He gets on the end of it, swings the ball across, cuts back into the box, and I think Richard Reyes scores a own goal. And at that point, I'm saying, okay, maybe we could get a few more here simply because we've been attacking and transitioning from attack to defense very well. It's been one of our better performances over the last couple of games. Now, this goal happened in the first half, and we just kept the same momentum. We kept attacking. We defended well. The defense was tested at times, but it did not break. But it was a really okay attack a really good attack compared to what we've seen over the past couple of games. And the first half ends, and we managed to keep 11 players on the pitch. Only in the first half, though, because we'll get to what happened in the second half in a minute. But yeah, it was a very good performance for me. Badiashile looked good at the back. Trevor Chalobah looked more comfortable with Badia Shilpier next to him. Malagusto actually did well in the first half, especially with his touches. His touches were clean, and he helped transition the play on that right hand side. Two players I wanted to talk about in the first half are Enzo Fernandez and Buonanotte. Buonanotte, he's starting to impress me. He didn't do anything worldly. He didn't do anything world class where you have to be at the edge of your seat. But him playing in that number 10 role, he plays it very clean. He plays it very, very clean. And I think that the few touches he has on the ball, how he transition play, how he can drop deep, his work rate off the ball to win the ball back is very good. And I gotta say I'm a bit impressed. And this might not be a horrible or horrendous signing as I thought it would have been, or that panic signing that's just to get someone in the door. That's actually it could actually turn out to be a good signing and a good replacement for Palmer because at times his movement was very good, and I just think he needs to tighten up on his final third passing and finishing and strike the ball more and not dwell on the ball too much. And we could have a good player here to kind of help us during our season in any campaign that we are in. And Enzo Fernandez, I want to say Enzo Fernandez had a better performance over the last than compared to the last couple of games. He was progressing the ball well. He was more physical. I don't know if this has to do with him playing against his old club in Benfica, but he was very physical, and then he tried to make things happen. He was a good captain on the day, and I think he did pick up a yellow card, but that's just him. But that's because of the passion of him playing against his old team. Now we transition into the second half. We're going at halftime. Mourinho goes down the dugout. We're 1-0 up. We're feeling good, we're buzzing. It's nothing. And again, this game is not anything special, but it's better when you compare it to the last couple of games we've played. Going into the second half, we started like we ended, creating chances, asking questions of the goalkeeper, transitional plays well, and Garnacho is doing what Garnacho is doing. There was a couple times where Garnacho wasted opportunities going forward, where he's dribbling too much, where he's overthinking, where he's not cutting back when he's supposed to cut back. And again, having Tariq George up front is so ineffective because there's no one to play the ball to that is of any quality, that's going to hold up the ball, that's going to turn his man. Tariq George likes to drop deep and goes over to that left hand or right hand side because naturally he's a winger. So that was pretty much concerning from that perspective, and he still didn't bring on you. In fact, let's get into some of the subs Enzo made. Enzo brought on Joe Pedro. He brought on Reece James. Yeah, and he brought on Reece James. Reece James took his spot at right back, and we saw, and he brought on Joshua Chempong as well. And I think he took a Badia Shield because Badia Shield just couldn't play the full 90. But Joshua Chempong came on. When Joao Pedro was up front, we saw a much different outlet. And Gittins came on as well. Gittins came on for Garnacho. We'll get to Gittins in a minute. But when you look at Joao Pedro up front, he looked like a much better outlet, and the transitional play and getting the ball up to a Fulcrum point was a lot better, even though Joao Pedro liked to drop deep. Also, when Estevao came on, Estevao played well. I don't necessarily like to see him in the 10. I would like to see him out on the right hand side where he has more space. But Neto was doing well on that right hand side, and we needed to fill that 10 slot given that Bonanate came off. I would love to see what a front four of Joao Pedro, Pedro Neto, Bonanote, and Estevao looks like, especially going forward. But we'll see. We do have Liverpool at the weekend, even though I do think Mariska might go with Alavia in midfield to be a bit more defensive. But back to the Champions League game. This was a very good. This was a very okay cameo from Garnacho because when Gittins Gittins came on and his end products stunk the place out. His end product left you wanting more. He was skipped by the defender. He was skipped by the opponent. He was skipped by the opponent. But that final third, it is bad. That left side is spooky. Garnacho was way better than what we saw from Gittins. And yeah, Estevao did well. Estevao skipped by a few people, but again, I'm still wanting more. He is 18 years old, so I'm not going to question him too much. I'm not going to criticize him too much either, but I think he played well when he came on. And yeah, it's a very hard worked. They made it harder than it should be, or than it could have been, in my opinion, because I think we could have scored a few more goals. But hey, I'm happy for the win. Happy for the first win back in Champions League. Now let's talk about the João Pedro red card. Can we not? Can we not go a game without going 10 men down, or going down to 10 men? We don't need red cards, and I think our next game is against Barcelona, if I'm not mistaken. Let me quickly check here because I don't think it's against Barcelona. Because Barcelona should be late November, if I am not mistaken. Let me pull this up really quickly. Our next Champions League fixture is against Ajax. Yep, there will be no João Pedro versus Ajax. So let's hope we don't see Tyreek George up front and Mark Yu actually gets a chance to play. But yeah, we need to work on our discipline. We need to work on how we discipline on all levels because we've got more red cards since Jackson left, and that is crazy to me. What we'll discuss this further on the sideline view, which I'm recording an episode of that tonight, and I will be discussing it with Robert and Marshall. So please look out for that and stay tuned for that. But yeah, it's the first win back in Champions League football. I'm feeling good. We beat Jose Mourinho at the bridge, 3 points. We move on to Ajax next in the Champions League, but Liverpool next in the league. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Please remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get notified when I upload a new video. Up the Chelsea. Peace.